Most men think a hug means almost nothing, just a quick hello, a polite goodbye, a simple gesture people do without thinking twice. They lean in, make contact for a second, then pull away and move on like nothing important happened. But what most men never stop to notice is that a hug can reveal more in 2 seconds than a full conversation ever could. In that short moment, her body often tells the truth before her words ever do. What she feels shows up fast: her comfort, her trust, her tension, her curiosity, sometimes even her attraction. The signal is there almost every time. The problem is not that women hide it well. The real problem is that most men have never learned how to see it. So they miss what is right in front of them. They rush the moment, misread the signal, and respond in a way that quietly breaks the connection before it has time to grow. That is where things usually start going wrong. Not because she gave nothing, but because he gave the wrong response back. He pulls away too quickly. He hesitates. He gets stiff. He overthinks. And without meaning to, he sends a message of uncertainty. Sometimes nervousness, sometimes distance, sometimes even disinterest. He may feel interested, but that is not what she experiences in the moment. And when your response does not match the energy she gives, the connection weakens fast. That is why this matters more than most men realize. Attraction is not only about what she shows, it is also about how well you respond to what she shows. If she gives warmth and you give hesitation, the moment falls apart. If she gives comfort and you give tension, the feeling changes. A hug may look small on the surface, but in real life, it is one of the clearest moments of emotional truth between two people. In this video, we are breaking down what those hugs really mean, not just what they look like on the outside, but what they often reveal underneath. You will learn how to spot the difference between a polite hug, a comfortable hug, and the kind that signals something deeper. More importantly, you will learn how to respond in a way that keeps the moment smooth, natural, and connected instead of tense, awkward, or easy to ruin. Once you understand this, you stop guessing. You stop looking for obvious signs that rarely come in obvious ways. You stop waiting for perfect words. Instead, you begin to notice the small physical details that reveal what is really going on, and those details matter more than most men think. Because after you understand what a hug is actually saying, you stop treating it like a small gesture and start seeing it for what it really is. Before we get into the different kinds of hugs, you need to understand why this matters at all. On the surface, a hug seems simple. It looks small. It looks ordinary. But in reality, it is one of the most honest forms of communication people have. The reason is simple. People can control what they say. They can filter words. They can adjust tone. They can hide behind conversation. But body language is much harder to fake in close moments. That is why physical signals matter so much. The length of the hug matters. The pressure matters. The way she places her arms matters. How close her body gets to yours matters. Whether she pulls away fast or stays a second longer matters too. None of these things are random. These are small reactions shaped by what she feels in that exact moment. And when you know how to read them, the message becomes much clearer than words alone. Human behavior has shown this again and again. A large part of emotional communication is nonverbal, especially in close contact. That means while you may be listening to what she says, her body is often giving you the more honest answer. And this is where most men miss what is happening. They focus too much on words. They wait for direct proof. They want obvious signs. But attraction rarely works that way in real life. Most attraction shows up quietly. It shows up in comfort, in closeness, in ease, in small moments that happen naturally when someone feels safe and connected. A hug is one of those moments because it removes distance. It brings both of you into the same space with no real place to hide behind words, jokes, or distractions. In that moment, the body reacts honestly, and that honesty tells you more than most men are trained to notice. This is what gives you an advantage once you understand it. You stop guessing and start observing. You stop chasing certainty and start reading patterns. That changes everything, because a hug is never just a hug. It is information. It is emotional feedback. It is a signal. And the only real question is whether you know how to notice what is being shown, or whether you miss it like most men do. Now, the next part is where most men fail, not because it is hard, but because they do not know how to respond in the moment. They rush, they freeze, they hesitate, or they overthink it so much that something simple becomes awkward. Some men go into a hug tense and unsure. Their body gets stiff. Their timing feels unnatural. They pull away too quickly because they do not know how long to stay there without second guessing themselves. Other men make the opposite mistake. They stay too long without reading what the moment actually is. They hold too much. They force too much. And instead of creating comfort, they create tension. Both mistakes come from the same problem: poor awareness. When you do not understand what the moment means, you cannot respond to it well. And when your response does not match her energy, the moment begins to feel slightly off, even if nothing obvious is said. That slight disconnect is something many men miss, but women usually feel right away. Because to her, the hug is not just physical contact, it is a moment of connection. And in that moment, she is noticing how you carry yourself. Are you calm? Are you relaxed? Are you comfortable? Do you match her energy? Or do you break it? Your body answers those questions faster than anything you could say, and she feels that immediately. If you pull away too fast, it can feel nervous. If you freeze, it can feel awkward. If you overdo it, it can feel forced. None of those reactions help attraction grow. They interrupt it. Another mistake men make is assuming every hug means the same thing. It does not. Different hugs communicate different things. And if you treat them all the same, you will misread the moment and respond in the wrong way more often than you realize. That is why understanding the meaning behind each kind of hug matters so much. Once you understand what each one usually signals, your response becomes easier. You stop forcing. You stop guessing. You stop trying to decode everything in your head while the moment is happening. You simply recognize what is in front of you and respond to it naturally. And when your response fits the moment, everything feels smoother, calmer, and far more connected. The first type of hug is the one most men see all the time and still misunderstand. This is the friendly pat hug. It usually lasts a second or two. Her body leans in lightly. There is not much full body contact. You may feel one or two quick pats on your back before she pulls away. It feels polite, easy, light. And because it feels simple, many men instantly assume she is not interested at all. That is where many men read it wrong. A friendly pat hug is not rejection. It usually means she feels safe around you, comfortable, at ease. There is no pressure in the moment, no heavy tension, no emotional intensity, but that is not bad. In many cases, comfort is where attraction begins. Not intensity, not drama, not pressure. Comfort creates the space where something stronger can slowly grow if you know how to handle it well. The mistake many men make here is reacting too negatively. They assume there is no interest, so they pull back emotionally. They become colder, less engaged, less present, or they stop trying altogether. That kills the chance for anything to grow, because instead of building on the comfort already there, they shut the door too early. What this hug often tells you is simple. She is open. She is relaxed. There is room to build from here. This is not the moment to force attraction. It is the moment to build connection. Stay relaxed. Stay grounded. Do not treat the hug like some huge event. Let it be natural. Keep the flow easy. Hold eye contact a little longer. Be calm. Be present. Add a little more warmth, a little more playfulness. Nothing forced. Just enough to make the interaction feel slightly more alive, more engaging, and more memorable than before. That is how comfort begins to shift into something stronger. Not through pressure, not through sudden intensity, through consistency, through repeated moments that feel easy and good. When she keeps feeling comfortable around you and each interaction feels a little better than the last, the dynamic begins to change on its own. That is when the next type of hug starts to appear, and that is where things begin to shift in a more noticeable way.